Hello buddy, and welcome to episode 25 of Brunswald. In today's episode we're gonna work around the castle, the botanical garden, and like the church we have there. And we're pretty much gonna expand, and we're gonna do some sort of 19th century neighborhood, which is gonna be one of the like wealthiest neighborhoods in Brunswald. So we'll have like a lot of those cube houses and a lot of other buildings that will fit pretty well for a neighborhood like that. So yeah, that's the plan for today's episode. But I'm starting off by doing some road layouts here. So as I said, this is gonna be an expensive neighborhood, the like wealthiest part of Brunswald. And I'm planning on having some like more modern, like big mansions on the hills, which is sort of hard to explain exactly where, but you know, sort of a little bit more behind the castle. But we're not gonna do that in today's episode. This one we're just gonna like focus on the more older style ones, and I also want to make some sort of smaller like sea town or sea village, I guess, that is pretty much connected to Brunswald, where that main road that goes past the botanical garden and ends up at the memorial. So where that road goes, and it goes pretty much next to the tennis clubhouse that we put down, and that's gonna continue out to like a smaller village, which is pretty much connected with Brunswald. So those are sort of the plans for this whole area of the city, and the rest is just gonna be pretty much suburbs, I guess. But yeah, so I'm starting off here by putting down some of these more like townhouses, I guess. They're still fairly big and kind of in the city center, I guess you could say. But yeah, so this one here is a Swedish building that has been on the workshop for quite some time, I'm pretty sure. But I thought it looked cool, and I thought it would fit pretty well. You know, we have like German buildings, we have French buildings, we have Swedish buildings in this neighborhood, so it's not gonna be like 100% realistic, which is pretty much nothing that I do here. But yeah, I just wanted to get a nicer like 19th century style for this neighborhood, because it is around the castle. And the castle would maybe, I don't know, have been constructed in the 18th century or something like that. And yeah, something like that, I guess. Because that castle is not really like a super old castle. Like, it's not from the medieval times. Definitely not. But yeah, so this is definitely one of the more older neighborhoods of this city. So yeah, I'm putting down this French palace over here, or I just put it down, and that was created by Die Hard Hunter, and it's a really cool asset that I've been wanting to use for quite some time, because I actually helped him with some screenshots for it when he released the asset. So those are like for the assets in the workshop. Those screenshots are from Brunswald, and ever since I looked at that asset when I took those screenshots, I've been really wanting to use it. And I finally got to use it, so we have it in this neighborhood, which is cool. And the Die Hard Hunter is a good friend of the channel, I guess you could say. He has helped a lot with custom assets and science and stuff, so yeah, he's a really cool guy. Alright, so what I'm doing here is just like an older style park with this, I don't know what it's called, but it's from Geese. It's from like the Versailles Palace in or outside of Paris. It's one of these, I can't remember the name of them, or I guess they're sort of, a gazebo, you could say, these ones. I've been wanting to use this asset for quite some time. I really think it looks really nice, and I finally got to use it here. And it would be nice if you guys could maybe suggest some names for this park, because I would assume that this park would be pretty significant, I guess, because it has this like pretty old gazebo, and this park has been here for quite some time. So if you guys want to suggest any nice names for it, feel free to do that. But yeah, so now I'm using some of these newer assets here, and these got released pretty recently. And yeah, this yellow one here, which is a elementary school, and then that other like standalone, I guess, building, which is a red one. Those were released pretty recently, and I think they fit well for this neighborhood as well. I think they might be Russian buildings. I'm not sure, but I think that's the case. But I think they fit well. That other like red, smaller one, that kind of looks like something you would see in Sweden. So I definitely wanted to use these ones, and I think they work really nice. And we do need more like schools and stuff in the city as well. So I'm pretty much just doing a bit of detailing here, putting down some like playground area for the kids to play around in, and yeah, just detailing the school, I guess. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how it was going to ParadoxCon. So I was at ParadoxCon, I attended that, and want to say thank you to Paradox for inviting me. It was so much fun, like it was so cool just meeting everyone from the community, and yeah, just had a great time there. And I got to load up Brunswald on one of the computers there, and showed some people around and stuff. So that was super cool. Never been to anything like this before, and I would love to go again. And yeah, just super cool meeting everyone that you've like seen on the internet, but now you sort of have a face for everyone. So yeah, super cool experience, and yeah, thanks again to Paradox for inviting me. But yeah, so hopefully you have maybe followed me on Twitter or Instagram and seen some of the posts I posted there. If not, you can go over there and check all of this stuff out. I posted quite a lot of pictures and stuff like that, so that's in the description if you are interested. Anyway, let's get back to what we're doing. So I'm doing some backyard detailing for these buildings here, and I'm using a lot of the cube house buildings. These are like classic 19th century sort of German buildings, and yeah, I think they just work really well for this neighborhood. I use them around that big like old high school as well, so I thought it only made sense to continue them here. But I put down a tennis clubhouse as well, so I wanted to put down some sort of tennis related stuff for this area, because that's, you know, you sort of have tennis in like wealthy areas, because wealthy people enjoy tennis, I guess. So I wanted to put down this big clubhouse here, which is a pretty cool asset that I've been wanting to use. And I've seen some comments as well from people saying that I should put down a clubhouse like this. So yeah, I put it down here, and just a lot of like green space around it pretty much. And putting down some bicycle stands here as well. And we'll be making some like pretty cool plaza next to this tennis clubhouse. With some of those stores by Lord Grunny, I think, because he released some like cafes and restaurants and stuff that you can put inside of like other buildings at the ground floor, so it looks like there's a shop there. So that's something I will be doing later on in the time lapse, which I think turned out really cool. And I put a bus stop there as well off camera, because that was sort of a main point. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here. So I put down this building right here, which is a 19th century building, I think, by Ligney 7. And yeah, I got that weird glitch in Move It there as well. But yeah, and then we have this like Swedish building here, which I'm detailing the backyard of right now. And this building has been out on the workshop for such a long time, but it looked cool, and I thought it would work right there, and I made a pretty big backyard for this one, because towards the street there's pretty much nothing for it, so I decided to utilize all of the space in the back instead. So I put a big pool here and some nice couches and stuff like that. So I enjoy doing backyard detailing. I don't do it this detailed in every single building, but sometimes I enjoy just going in and doing this kind of stuff. It can be a lot of fun, actually. And then I also put down that just pharmacy on the corner there. I thought that assets just fit well, and wanted to have some. I wanted to have some more like store there on the corner. I feel like putting stores on corners are pretty realistic. That's usually how it tends to be. So I put a pharmacy there, and then did some like custom parking and stuff like that. And that asset is also by Ligney 7, which he also made this one here. This one is really cool. There's another one sort of similar to that one that I'll have to use somewhere else. But yeah, we're detailing the parking lot here for the pharmacy. And this just fits so well, like this parking lot behind here. just like compact, and yeah, it just worked out so nice, and I'm very happy with it. And then just finishing up with some bicycle stands and decals and stuff like that, as usual. Alright, so I think we're gonna leave you with some music now. We are at 11:30 minutes. Hopefully you enjoy that, so yeah, enjoy the music. Alright, so I've been just working on that like city palace building, which is some sort of administrative building for the government or something like that. I used one of those other buildings from that pack. I used that around, or I put that down in pretty much the first episode, right next to the church. And I've seen some comments about more buildings like that, which I guess would be called government buildings maybe. Yeah, I decided to put that down right in front of that park, and I think it turned out nice. I think it fits well there in this older style neighborhood. So that would be some sort of more administrative building or something like that. Maybe suggest something for that building. What would be in there? Maybe do that with the park suggestion if you have anything. But also feel free to just suggest stuff for this whole like part of town. This whole like road layout area that we put down in this episode. Feel free to just suggest whatever you'd like to see in this whole area. It might be good if it would fit this area, but no, just write some cool suggestions for stuff you'd like to see in this place, and I'll definitely take those into consideration, I guess. And yeah, just want to hear what you guys want me to do here, because if you don't have any suggestions and stuff, I'm probably just gonna go on and do more suburbs and stuff. So if you have anything like unique you want to see in these neighborhoods, just let me know in the comments, and we'll see what we can do about it. Alright, so we're here at this like little plaza that I talked about earlier in the time-lapse. So I put down these storefronts by Lord Grunny, which you put on like the ground floor of some other building, and I put down these like brick buildings here. One of them is pretty new, the one that has some more yellow brick, and the other one has been around for a long time, but yeah, I thought those fit well. I don't know what this area would have been like before they built this, because this is pretty recent development. So this might have just been some open green space or whatever, and they decided to build a plaza like this. But I think it turned out really nice with these, or we have like a cafe here, we have like a pizza restaurant, we have a grocery store, and what is that, Lush, I think it's called, some sort of cosmetic boutique or something, I'm not sure. But I think it turned out nice, and as I said, we'll have like a bus stop, which stops here as well, which I unfortunately didn't include in the time-lapse. But then just some park people generators that will ruin my FPS, but that's all good. Alright. Then just putting down like curbs and stuff here, and it's always pretty annoying to try and use those ploppable grass assets when there's like slopes in the terrain. If you want to cover up like concrete and stuff, that's something I always struggle with. But yeah, I need to find like some sort of like, I guess, grass tufts that I can just use instead of that, which pretty much covers up concrete. I don't know if you guys have the same problem, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm just working on like a small parking lot or back area for these buildings here, because Europe is not free of parking lots, in case any like American thought that. I mean, there's like parking spaces wherever they can fit in. So yeah, I don't want to just go with a totally parking lot free city, because that's not really realistic, because you do definitely see parking lots in European cities. But yeah, so now we're getting into more like real suburbs, and this is pretty much what we're gonna have for like the rest of these neighborhoods, in case you guys don't have any major things that that you think I should put down here. I'm pretty much gonna just do my normal suburbs and stuff around here, but you saw me put down some like smaller apartment blocks there on the other side of the tennis clubhouse, and I think that worked out really nice. I've been wanting to use those for quite some time as well, and I think they fit very well in here, and I just wanted to have like some like bigger building next to that main road where we have the plaza and stuff. So I thought it would be a good fit with those apartments there, and you do see quite a lot of these like smaller apartments which have like 2 or 3 floors, like these ones. I do see these quite often in real life, so I thought it would make sense to put these here, and I guess these would also be like pretty expensive to live in, I guess, because this is just a overall nice neighborhood in the city, and yeah, I want to put a lot of like mansions and stuff towards the ocean as well later on, but we'll probably get to that in the next episode or something like that. But this is gonna do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Take care and bye bye.